Hey, John McCann, Director of Communications and Marketing at Shaw University. Several days past Super Tuesday, but politics remains in focus because I'm with Shaw University Student Government Association President Zaid Steele, who in the run-up to the primary hosted a forum to talk about gerrymandering and the need for folks to show up and vote. So, President Steele, were you pleased with the turnout?
The turnout, first, politics, everyone says I hate politics. But whatever you do, it's a law. It doesn't matter if you walking down the street, getting groceries, that's a law. The turnout here at Shaw University, it's a scale. It's a roller coaster because you have some students whose background is I don't vote, and then you have others who are activists. They've been doing this for a long time. I would say both turnouts of my events were good. I felt like the message was being across to the students, like myself. And also it's more personal because I do see myself in similar seats like the elected officials that we had here this previous week. But also the most important thing is showing the students who's representing them. A lot of them don't see the faces. They hear the name but don't see the faces. And that's what I want to do on our campus. We're right down the street from the General Assembly's office. I'm actually an intern there. So one of my goals that I'm doing is connecting with these different representatives and like, look, I got 5 students that's from your district. You need to come talk to them. And that I feel like that's important because it's building a bridge between a student and the representatives. It doesn't matter if the student has a background of, I'm not in politics, I don't like it, but at least you still know who is representing you. If you don't go vote, which I hope everyone does, because it is very important this election to vote. But if you don't go vote, the wrong person will be in the seat, and you could lose everything that you worked hard for. So the point of our interviews are to educate our students and also to bring more resources to the campus.
Is it tough convincing college students about the need to vote because many of them may not necessarily live around here and may not see that connection between what happens in local politics and how it might impact their campus?
Right. I think the biggest thing is what students need to understand is that although, yes, we have a president of the United States, it's nothing that he can necessarily change right then and there when you're local. I always encourage the students, go local. That's actually a message that we heard from Representative Jones last week when he was here on the panel, is that it's all about the local. Is it hard to get the students out there? I would say no. But yes, I would say yes first because it has to be interesting. Our students are too advanced to have something where it's fully lectured. We got to make it fun for them to go out and do it. And that's what I feel like I've done here is, bringing out the DJ, bringing maybe the news. Everybody want to be on the news or something like that. But bringing out those clear necessities to help our events seem more engaging and fun for students to want to actually be in it. Another thing is we bring different nonprofits around North Carolina, Common Cause, NC Black Alliance, Democracy NC. We have different nonprofits that are also giving out the same information, very creative when giving the information, and also on top of that, they give internships. So it's just like we're helping our students feel their goals by having these type of events. Voting rights, gerrymandering. Most students don't know what gerrymandering is, and that ties into voting. Why do you feel like your district has changed over the course of 5 years when really a district is supposed to change in the course of 10 to 15? So it's just like those are things that students need to be aware about, and that is why I'm providing this type of information.
President Steele, you mentioned your internship at the General Assembly. What is that in preparation for?
So I am an intern with Representative Jones, and what I do for them, I file, I host events, I make phone calls, I'm helping my representative now just to not necessarily campaigning for him, but telling him what it is that our HBCU needs. He's our representative here in Wake County. So it's just like with that internship, building my network system. And right now, the General Assembly is a little slow. There's not a session open right now, so I'm doing a lot of preparing. I would say I'll go to office like three to four times out the week, literally just to write notes, go in the library, so that way when things start in session, I'm already prepared. Everything is going to start moving faster now for me. So right now I would say it's more so studying and just taking this time to build my knowledge more about the General Assembly, also the new elected officials that are going to be here, and it's been a great experience working at the GA. I mean, just like I said, I see myself as a lawyer, hopefully a governor, so it's just, there's a lot that the GA has really helped me with and nourished me so that way I can be in that seat.
Let's look nationally, President Steele. You recently were in the company of the Vice President of the United States. Where was that, and was that your first time in the room with Kamala Harris?
Yes. So the previous week before I flew out, I was invited to VP Kamala Harris' residence at her actual home in DC, and it was amazing. Like the way everything was, I just wouldn't expected it. And it's just like this big person. I'm about to see this big amazing person in her home, like not in the school, not on my campus, but in her home. And to be part of that and to get that invitation was an honor. Actually, that was one of the things I hoped to do while I was in this position, is to see her. But not only see her, have a conversation with her. A lot of SGA presidents as well had the opportunity to be present in her residence. It was fun, but I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting to have more of a business conversation with her, just to talk about what's going on with our HBCUs. And what's crazy is, I don't know if you watch the news, but on the news right now, Mississippi is going through a lot with Jackson State, Mississippi, and one other HBCU, but they're thinking of, well, it didn't pass, but thank God it didn't pass. But at that time and during that week, their congressman was thinking of shutting down 3 HBCUs, and I feel like that is a conversation that we needed to have. Like, what is it that us as HBCUs, what other approach can we take so our congressmen and women, like, because we got to keep it local, are not taking away our history, our responsibilities. Like, you just can't take away our history.
So you didn't get a chance to have that conversation and inject that question?
I didn't. I did not have a chance to have that conversation. And many people know, like, with me, I'm about business. I don't like to be used, and not saying I was used, but when I'm in that type of element and receiving that type of invitation, I am expecting to have a round table sit and let's talk about issues. And even on her and her team's part, I understand that even with doing it, it opens a door for everything else. And it is easy for people to get off script. But I still feel as though everything that our HBCU, even here at Shaw, everything that our HBCUs are going through, I'm not saying you have the answers, but at least assure me that are working on what's going on, because you invited us because you needed our faces. But even with needing our faces, it needs to be a two-way street, if that makes sense.
You're en route to becoming a civil rights lawyer.
Attorney, yes.
What are the next steps as you get ready to graduate in May, and how has Shaw University prepared you for that?
Yes, that is correct. My next step is a civil rights attorney lawyer. I just took the LSAT for February, but although I took the LSAT, I'm still going to wait until fall of 25, because I don't want to be, one of those students who I have all this to offer, but I'm still put in the background. You know, I know I'm an asset. I know everything that I've done on my campus, I ought to be top three, you know. But really just taking this gap year to be a mentee. I have a lot of, not a lot, but enough lawyers that are in the field that I want to be in to help mentor me while I'm out and everything, because I don't want to sit down too long, but I want to keep doing the work. I'm also applying for fellowships and internships that are working in North Carolina and DC. DC is actually where I really want to be. But also on top of that, my top schools that I'm looking into is Howard Law School of Law, Georgetown School of Law, North Carolina Central School of Law. I'm ready. I'm ready. I feel like Shaw. I have to give it up to Professor Ferguson. That is one of our professors in the political science department. He is literally the person who started it. You know, he connected me with his network, and it just kept going, which led me to where I am today. You know, I've gained mentors. I've gained so much knowledge on just law itself, you know, because at first I was so closed-minded, like you only had to have this background, but I was able to incorporate literally everything that I do on campus here at Shaw, I'm able to do in law. So just being able to really do what I want to do and make it my own, yes, I'm excited for that.
So for that student who might be listening, that caregiver, that teacher who might be on the fence about recommending Shaw as a place for higher education, you tell them what?
I would tell them first, it doesn't matter where you go. It's about your goals. Like, what do you see for yourself? First, Shaw is a small institution, which is the biggest benefit I think we have as a university, because we get to know everyone. You know, like me, I know everyone here at Shaw. I know who to call for my financial aid. I know who to call for student accounts. If I need to check out a book, I know all of that information.
Which can sound small to somebody listening until you get on campus and need those resources.
Yes, exactly. And my thing is too, being that we're so small, you get to know everyone. And I feel like even with your undergrad, it's about networking, learning how to get yourself through the door, connecting with the right people. That is what we can provide for you. Even with the classes are very intimate. So it's easier I wouldn't say easy, but because everyone's learning is different, but it's more open for a student to be able to go to their professor and have study hours. You have a lot of resources here at Shaw. We're downtown. You can walk anywhere. You don't need a car, none of that. You can walk anywhere. And on top of that, there are businesses down here. So you have not only do you have Shaw University networks, you have Raleigh networks, and Shaw and Raleigh go hand in hand. We have a lot to offer for our students, and not just students who look like us, but again, it's all on what that student wants for themselves. Where do you see yourself? You know, a lot of the students do come from a background where they don't have a lot. And so here at Shaw, I think what we've done is, although you don't have a lot, we're going to show you what you can have. I'm going to show you what you thought wasn't even possible. And I feel like that's what Shaw has instilled in me, is that there were a lot of things I didn't know were possible, but Shaw had opened my eyes and opened their doors so that way I can have a successful life.
President Steele, I appreciate this time.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
That was Shaw University Student Government Association President Zaid Steele. She is getting what she needs at Shaw University because of support from individuals like you. Please consider what you can give when you go online and visit shawu.edu/giving.